Welcome to chair yoga. Today's practice is going to be simple in terms of props. We're just going to use a chair, body weight. We'll be coming up to using the chair as support. We'll focus a little on the side body today. So on strengthening some of the muscles on the side seam of the body, which can help support our backs better, support our breathing better. So go ahead and come into sitting at your chair. And just shift around like side to side, front to back, just to feel your sit bones. And then allow your shift forward and back to radiate up into your spine. So letting the sad tail position round your spine, and you can, just let it move into that C curve in a comfortable amount. And then you can pull, and usually I say pull with your hands. You can do that too, but you can also pull with your feet and unround, and then shift forward and let the low back curve increase, letting that radiate up, and just stretch open the top part of the trunk. And just explore your pace, variations. So you can have hands on your thighs for more support if your back is feeling a little sensitive. You can rest your hands. You can try to use your feet as the base here instead, pulling and pushing from the feet. Good. So noticing how your spine feels this morning, especially in these two primary directions of movement. And next time when you round, you can stay here and let your chin tuck more, so adding in a little more neck flexion. You can gently nod side to side. And then again, pull hands and feet and unround your spine, opening up. And then you can pull with your elbows back as well to deepen that extension. And a few more rounds. Now you can add in coming down with your whole torso, so bending from your hip joint as well as your spine. And then you can come back up, pushing through the feet. So your exploration, basically warming up your back through these two directions of movement, and noticing what feels good for your body. Maybe you want to stay in one place for little movements, for some breaths. And then, so for those of you who are just joining, we just need chair, our body weight, and no special props today, focusing on the side body. So taking your feet wide now, and go ahead and reach over across. So you're reaching your right arm, and then let your middle back flex. So you're looking down, so you can stretch through that middle back more, and then pull back. And then explore reaching across, stretching that middle back, and then you can drop your chin down to add a little flexion, and then come back. And again, reaching maybe into a new height, maybe lower, maybe higher, and reaching. So loosen up your middle back through these contralateral reaches, and you can vary, where you reach. You can get creative and try to go and reach for all around the room, not just in the exact same place. And noticing how, you know, the more that you reach, not only will you probably feel a bigger stretch through your middle back, but you might feel how your legs will turn on as well to keep you stable and on the chair. Good, so loosen up that middle back through some twists with reaching. Okay. And then I was kind of playing with this variation earlier, and instead of reaching, I started to punch. And that engages the muscles in your arms differently. So you can play and add in more of a punching motion, and notice how that engages your musculature in a different way. Okay. And then come back to center, and then we'll add in side body. So exploring the side body here, we'll start simply with the arms. You will lift that right arm. And then when you exhale, take your awareness to your ribs on the left side and imagine all these ribs moving in towards each other more and moving in towards the spine more. And see if that allows your side bend to deepen. You can also vary your arm, that this can increase the stretch and this can make it a little bit more gentle. And then take another breath here. The next time when you inhale, you can come back up. And we'll since we're focusing on the side body, let's just do one side at a time so that it's easier for us to feel if there are any differences. And go ahead and lift up again. And then as you side bend, can you now also feel your abdominal wall drawing in to help stabilize you as you side bend a little more. And then take the breath through into the intercostals on this side. Okay, and then come on up and exhale down. Okay. The progression here is you can lower down onto your elbow on the other side, and then you can come up. So that will deepen that side bend stretch, and then you could exhale. And I noticed as I was side bending, my tendency with my neck is, you know, the neck is part of the side body as well. And instead of like letting my head side bend like this, my tendency is to kind of hold it up and also to kind of flex it down. So just notice, you know, what your habit is with the head positioning, and if you can allow the side bend to happen there as well. And then come on up. And then just take a moment and breathe into your whole trunk here. And it'll probably feel pretty different between the right and the left side. So let's see if we can stretch through that left side as well. So palms up, and then reaching up. Then as you exhale, you can find the lateral bend here. Your choice of hand positioning could be the arms longer, could be the elbows bent. Breathing into the sides of the ribs and allowing this side of the ribs to compress and move inwardly more. And then we'll come up, float the arm down. Just feel what your side body is like after that first stretch, and then take the second round, your variation. Notice your tendency with your neck and your head. Can you allow the side bend to happen from the neck as well? Or, you know, is there some kind of discontinuation with your body awareness there, where the head, you know, it's hard to find the head. That's kind of my experience a lot in side bends. So it takes me a while to really get that alignment. come on up. Third round is you can go lower down onto your elbows, and then it's a little bit more of a stretch when you add in this lean. Take another breath here. And on your inhalation, come on up. And take a pause here. Just check into your natural breathing now after all those movements to your spine. And we want to start to awaken more healthy movement in the diaphragm. A lot of the times when we are sedentary, we sit a lot, the diaphragm's movement becomes very limited, and it affects the health of our whole nervous system when the diaphragm is, we're breathing shallower breaths and not making full range with our breathing. So the first place that we can find more range, instead of breathing here, like lifting in the collarbones, is finding that quality of the breath expanding through the ribs. So you can stay and hug your ribs, or you can just take your attention there mentally. And as you inhale, imagine the sides of your ribs flaring out into your hands. And then as you exhale, allow the space to soften inward. So finding that quality of the breath expanding in all directions around your rib basket, especially through the backside, because we know that that's where the bulk of our lungs are. And then slow that exhale down so that instead of slumping on the exhale, you slow it down and you feel your core draw in order to lengthen your spine, lengthen your low back. Okay, take another breath through the rib space. And then the other part of the other main direction of movement is the diaphragm also contracts and goes down as we inhale. So can you get a sense of the breath expanding? Like we made it wide. Now is it possible to keep it wide and full and let it move down the trunk? So you can put your hands, maybe around your waist, around your lower belly, so to see if you can feel the breath here. So as you inhale, just imagine the breath moving down your trunk as well. And obviously it's not the air that's moving down here, it's just the displacement of the organs and the muscles by the diaphragm. And that displacement, that rhythmic movement is really also essential for health. And same thing as you did before, slow your exhale, make your exhale even with your inhale. When we overbreathe, it actually creates an anxiety state in our nervous system when our inhalation is bigger than our exhalation. Okay, and after one more of this directional breath, let go of controlling your breathing and just receive your breath. Just feel it now and noticing after some conscious effort to move it into new places, like what is that? How is that landing for you? Okay. And then we're going to continue with the movement. So we're going to work the QL, which is a deep low back muscle, and the psoas, which is a hip flexor, which is attached to the front of our spine. The QL is attached to the side of our spine. So you want to shift in your chair so that your left sit bone is off of your chair. So this is going to force your core, your belly to draw in, and your QL here to have to work, okay? So you can let the hip drop. You can put your hand even right on the hip bone here. Let the hip drop down and lengthen, and then lift the hip up, and it's like a hip hike, and then let it lengthen, and then hike that hip up, and drop that hip down. So feeling the ASIS here, moving up, feeling that ASIS moving down. As you're finding this elongation and contraction in your side body, can you also notice how your abdominal core, your abdominal wall is working as well? Oh. So I can feel my abdominal wall just drawing in to keep me stable the whole time. And it feels like it's getting a little bit of a stretch down when this hip drops, and then it feels like it's helping a little bit pull up. So working, and then the pelvic floor muscles are actually working on this side as well. Okay, so 3 more of these hip hikers, QL lifters. And then try to hover so that your bum on this side is level with your bum on the other side, even though you're not on the chair, so you can feel your belly work, your QL work, everything's working. Pretty intense. And then you get to stretch this leg straight back behind your chair. Good. So now it'll stretch the front of the hip more here, so that's the psoas. And we're going to hang out here. Lengthen, push into your back foot, and as if, pretend like you're trying to lift this leg back and up into the air. So now you feel your booty muscles turn on. Okay, so keep that work with your booty muscles as well. And then we'll reach up, we'll side bend, and then we'll flex. And then we're coming back up into just the side bend. We're going to bend our elbows and pull ourselves upright. Good. Keep working through that leg. Try to lift that leg up, so keeping that booty working. Side bend, flex. Turn back to just the side bend. Pull the elbow back. Take your body back up. Okay, so now you know the basic shape. So reaching, still lengthening, side bending, deepen that stretch, flexing, maybe stretching through that QL a little bit more. Coming back, pulling back up. Okay, so you know the basic framework. You can stay there. You can also choose to get creative and explore for your own body. So when I was doing this earlier, I started to want to loosen up the shoulder, so I started to kind of move the shoulder around in circles as well. So that's one kind of improv that you could do if that's where you feel the tension. But if you're feeling inspired to move in another way, go ahead as well with this kind of lunge. Okay. Good. And then eventually we'll meet and we'll lift the arms up so that we're working both sides of the body. Take a breath here. When you're ready, you can float your arms down. Okay. If you feel stable, you can explore. So this is going to be a lot of work to step the foot back without shifting. So you can step back, and you know this hip is off of the chair, so it's a little challenging. And then you can scooch in. Okay, so try not to fall off of the chair. Ooh, okay, take a pause and just notice into your lower body. Was surprisingly working a lot there. And then notice your side body. Okay, let's do the other side. So we have to shimmy our bums over to the other side of the chair. The right sit bone is off. And we get a little elongation through the waist. And then you have to lift that hip up, and then you can lower that hip down. So QL is working. It's this deep low back muscle on the side, lifting and elongating. Also feeling your abdominal wall drawing in to support you. Hip hikers at the chair. And so we're strengthening this core side muscle. And I can feel it up through my neck as well. Good, let's do another 3 rounds of these hip hikers. Whew. And then next time when you come up, see if you can stay and level your pelvis here, even though one is not supported on the chair. You might even have to hold some of the chair. Good. And then keep that stability and step this right leg back behind you, stretch through that front of that hip. Engage your glutes as well so that you don't overstrain in the psoas. The psoas for a lot of us is shortened because we sit so much. So try to pretend like you're lifting the leg up in the air so that your glutes turn on. And that should give a little more stability here. And if this, so I can feel this side is really tight. So if that's happening for you, you might even bend the knee a little bit. Okay, so no pain. Okay, so adjust so that you're not in that place where you're overstretching and pulling too much in this tissue. Okay, and then we'll reach up, and you can find your side bend on this side, and then lean your body forward to deepen the stretch through into your QL, and then come back to just side bending, and then bend your elbow and pull yourself up. Reach, elongate through this side, contract in the other side and side bend, and then lean so that it shifts the stretch. And you could even stay here for a breath. Lean back, so you're just side bending, pull to come up, and maybe one more round like this before you explore related movements as you like. Coming back, pulling. You can continue with that drill, or if you're feeling like the shoulder needs a little bit more loosening, you can move your shoulders around in circles, and then you can come back to the side bend. Good. And then we'll reach up into warrior one arms, rooting down through that back leg, and again pretending like you're going to lift the leg back up behind you to feel your glutes working. Good. And then we'll lower the arms, and then your choice. You can try stepping forward if you feel stable in the chair, or you might have to, just bend the knee first and have some more support. Okay, so more core challenge, no hands, try to come back. And I leaned a little bit so I wouldn't fall off, and then I came back to level. Okay, and then pull, get back on your chair. And take a pause and notice how much of a workout it is to have only one bum on your chair. Good. And then noticing the side body, how much breath you can feel happening through your side ribs, through your back ribs right now. And let's prepare to do our chair squats. So we want to have the feet maybe a little bit wider to have more stability as we get up. Toes can turn out a little bit. And we want to find a neutral neck, neutral trunk when we shift forward, so that we feel the abdominal wall turn on. If the neck is not neutral, it's hard for that abdominal wall to work. So as you lean forward, can you feel your abdominal wall knit in? Can you feel the weight shift into your feet? And then push down through your feet to rise up. And then inhale, take your hips back, hands forward as a counterbalance. And can you go slow, especially towards the end, so that it's a controlled descent. You're not just falling into the chair. Good. Shift, core neutral, belly knitting in on its own, and push. Inhale, hips back, knees bend, slow on that descent so that you can work a little bit more through your legs. Shift, exhale up, inhale down, and I guess, you can choose to go faster. That's one version of doing this, so that when you come down, you're just tapping the chair with your bum. So you can do that. And I think it's a little easier than sitting all the way back down. Or you can sit all the way back down to make it more challenging. Good. One more of this chair squat, and then we come up into standing. Take a pause here, feeling the whole body. Okay, we'll use the chair to support us for some of the standing work. Okay, so you can turn so that you're facing the chair. And you can come down into a forward fold with the hands either holding the sides or the palms on the seat of the chair, your choice. We'll shift the hips back, and you can shift your hips right, shift your hips left. So you're stretching through the outer hip and, sides of the legs. You can keep stretching out. So I realize I'm pretty close in, so I'm going to walk a little further out. And then eventually you can bend the knees so that you can stretch your back a little bit more. As you bend your knees and as you stretch your back out, try not to round your spine. Just let it lengthen out so you get a deeper stretch. Okay, so pull the sit bone back. And then go ahead and shift forward into a plank, so lower your hips in line with your shoulders and your ankles. And then shift back and bend your knees and stretch your back out. Shift forward towards plank-ish. You can look at yourself on the screen to figure out the angle. So we don't want to feel like our low back is working too much here, so that's this if you drop too far down. And if you're kind of like this, then you won't feel a lot of core activation either. Lining yourself up like a straight board. Good. Next time when you come back, go ahead and step your right foot forward. And it's not to the side of the chair like we usually do, it's to the right in front of the chair so that the knee is, you know, like by the edge of the chair. Okay, and then you can straighten out the front leg, and then you can bend the front leg. Okay, so just moving through, extending and bending that knee. Good. Now I realize I should go this way because we're going to do some warrior twos. So it's going to be easier for me to look in the mirror or in the camera. Okay. And then next time when that knee is bent, lift up and open out into warrior two. So in warrior two, the front of your hips are not facing the chair, but going alongside. It's parallel with the side of the chair. Yeah, good. And take a breath here. When you're ready, go ahead and drop the back hand down, turn the front palm up, and see if you can deepen that knee bend as you side bend back. Good. Take a few breaths here. On your next inhale, come on back to your warrior two position, and then shift, lean. You can put your hands on the chair, and then we're in a side bend again, but going the other way. So we'll lift the arm up and side bend towards the chair. Good. And then you can lift out and come back in. So we'll do it dynamically. You can go all the way out. You can even lower the arm down. Lift back up, side bend. And then stay here. See if you can allow that front knee to bend more. Breathe into the side of the ribs again. Keep the breath through your nose. And you could drag this hand towards you to deepen that side bend. And it will slowly come out. Okay, so this is, we're gonna try to lift this back leg up. So it's a half moon. Check your bottom foot. Make sure it's not turned in. Turn your bottom foot so that it is straight this way or a little bit turned out so that the toes are pointing this, you know, behind you more rather than internal rotation. Okay, so not turned in like this, straight, going this way, or a little external rotation, but you can try straight first, okay? And we're gonna have the hands on the chair. You wanna make sure you space yourself so that when you go up, you don't bop your knee into your chair. So you might have to move a little further away. So I think I have to go a little further away. Make sure your chair is stable. Mine is not the best for chair yoga, okay? Because it's the way it is. I wanna put my hands in the center so it doesn't tip, okay? So make sure yours won't tip. And then you shift and then see if you can lift your back leg up. And you could also hold on to the top of the chair. Okay, so you're in a balance on your side. Good, and then softly bend that standing knee and touch and lift and touch and lift. So just moving dynamically. Few times, working in the side of the leg. And then next time, when you're up, both hands on the chair, turn, and then step the floating foot down. Just walk back, stretch your back out. and listen to your body. So for some of us, this might feel good just to stretch like that statically. Some of us might want to make little circles to loosen up any tension in the glutes. Maybe you want to go side to side. Maybe you want to squat and plank. So don't let the tension accumulate. So if that balancing, started to rigidify some places, take some movement to just allow those patterns to break up. Okay. And then we'll do the same thing. We'll start to squat and plank again. Squat, plank. And you can step your left foot forward. And again, this time we're not to the side of the chair. We have the foot and the knee in front of the chair. And you can align your back foot so the arch is in line with the heel of the front foot. And then you open up into your warrior two. Good. Holding warrior two here. Take a breath. Okay. And then you can lower the back hand, turn the front hand palm up, and lean towards your back leg. And as you do that, you can choose to bend the front knee more to deepen the stretch. And it's a side bend towards the back leg. Take a breath here. Good. And then we'll come out, and then we'll go into a side angle. So now we're side bending over the front leg, so you can reach, and then your hand can go to the chair, and then you can reach the top arm and side bend your spine. You can come back up and then float the arm down. Palm up, lift straight, and then side bend and arc the rib cage so that you can get a bigger stretch. Yeah. And then lift straight with the arm and then palm down and float it down. Good. Explore a few more rounds like that to get a little lateral bend here. And then we'll come up, and you can straighten out the front leg for a moment. We're heading towards that balance on this front leg. So make sure again that you place your hand in a perfectly centered way on your chair, because my chair, as you can see, the legs are this way. So if I had it here, it's going to tip. Yeah, so make sure you're safe on your chair. Arrange it in the most stable way. Okay, and then go ahead and side bend, and also make sure you don't crash your knee into the chair. Shift the weight over to your hands, to your front leg, and then lift. And maybe you're just kind of trying it just lift first and see how it goes. And it's like, oh, I have to move a little bit more to get more loading into the front leg. Okay, so lift again. See how that goes. Maybe I gotta adjust, come back down and adjust, okay? So, and then hold once you have the alignment. Okay, and then, whoa! I'm trying to keep my neck neutral, and it's a lot harder. Good, so balancing here, take another breath. Bend your standing knee, touch. You can rest if you're like, this is enough, or you can pulse and go up and down a few rounds. And then you can come back up, and then you can turn. And make sure your chair is stable again, and then float your foot down. And then again, listen to your body. What flavor of movement will serve you best. So if your back feels tight, maybe you're stretching out and you're moving. Maybe you can go side to side. Maybe hip circles will loosen things up best for you. Okay. And then come to that squat dog, hands on the chair. Take another breath here. And then shift all your weight into your feet. Take your elbows to your thighs. And then push. Rise up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Noticing the sides of your legs, hips, sides of your waist, the rib basket, all the way up to the neck. Just feeling any differences between the sides, maybe a sense of aliveness, of energy through the sides. And then come back to that thoracic breath, feeling your rib basket expand with your inhalation. And try to slow your breath down now to 5 seconds. Inhale for 5. And then also exhale for 5. Take another breath like that. When we're able to slow the breath down to between 5 to 7 seconds per inhale, per exhale, it improves our heart rate variability, which is an overall measure for health. So it's a good pace to work towards, building towards. Next time when you finish your exhale, you can let go of the count and just, we'll come back to sitting. Okay. And just take a pause, noticing your breath here. We'll do the cool down. So I guess one of my favorites is that figure 4, but let's do the forward fold first. So you can widen your feet and then slide your hands down your legs again and fold over. And just come down as low as is comfortable for your body. Relax your head, your neck. Find your rib breath here. So can you feel that breath move through the back of your ribs, back of your lungs? Can you feel your belly soften more on the exhale here? And does that allow you to deepen that forward fold? Good. And then next time when you come halfway up, you can have your elbows on your thighs, or you can push your hands on your shins. You're just trying to stretch your body long. And then slide and relax your body down. Inhale, push, and lengthen your waist, lengthen your whole spine, and have your neck neutral. One more time, slide. And relaxing the back body. And then sweep the arms out in an airplane. Let the arms lift you all the way back up. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Okay. And we'll walk the right leg in, we'll cross the left leg over. Shimmy so that your two sit bones are as level as they can be. And we'll have the right hand here. You can actually, let's go this way. Let's push the back of the hand into the thigh so that activates this whole back of the arm. Lift your left arm up, lengthen, and then as you exhale, you can turn and twist, and you can take your hand to the seat of your chair so that you can pull on it if you have, if your chair is has a back that's open. And then find your rotation. You can let your head turn all the way over, and then you could slowly turn it back. Turn it over to the right or to the left. Turn it back to your right. Good, and then keep the chin neutral between the chest, the shoulders, and find your rib breath here. Find your abdominal wall here as you exhale. Find your 5-second breath here as well. So nice, long, steady breath. When you complete the breath that you're on, unwind, come on back to center. Walk this bottom leg out and transition into a figure 4. Some of us, this is possible. Some of us, maybe we have to have this knee lower down on the ottoman or something to create that. Okay, so it doesn't go up on your thigh. Prop it with some furniture so that you get a similar shape. And then line up your ankle underneath the knee so that, and then the hip is in line with this knee so the weight transfers through the joints. Yeah, and then you shift forward in any amount to deepen the stretch to this outer hip. Flex your toes here so you feel stability in this knee. Come back up, and then we'll add a little bit of a side bend to this side, and then that lean to shift into that QL. And then come on back out. We'll step down, shake it out, make some circles, whatever you want to do. If you feel, a lot of some tension over on one side. Okay, second side, so we'll do the twist first, so you can cross right leg over left. Weight even on your sit bones. So shimmy. Cut that left hand across, press the back of the hand into the thigh, into the knee. Lift your right arm and push down through your sit bones as you lengthen and turn. And then you can choose to rest your hand wherever. You can hold on to the chair. And you can find your neutral neck and then to rotate your neutral neck side to side, just in a comfortable range. And then stay with your chin between your two shoulders. And breathe through your rib basket. And just slow down the breath. Long, smooth breath. Good. When you finish the exhale, go ahead and turn back to the center. move that bottom foot back to its side and slide into the figure four. Adapt the figure four for your knee, for your joints. Line up the joints of your leg, the bottom leg, and then let the weight transfer from this leg basically down into the other one. Flex your toes. You can deepen the piriformis stretch by leaning forward more. But again, we want the weight transference through the joints so that way it goes down so it doesn't go into here. Okay, we want it to go down into the foot, into the floor. And breathe into this. Shift all the way up. As your side bend, make sure you're steady on your chair. I'm a little bit on this edge. So lift up and then find your side bend. And then you can lean a little bit to deepen that stretch to your QL. And then lean back up, lower down, and you can slide this foot down. And little movements if you need to. Maybe shifting, maybe circling with the hips, maybe doing your cat-cow in the chair again. So okay, we'll find neutral with our sit bones, neutral with our low back, neutral with the spine. We'll do a breathing pattern from yoga called alternate nostril breathing, and we'll basically, the name pretty much says it all. When we do this breathing pattern, it helps to balance the engagement of the sympathetic and parasympathetic branches of the nervous system. So you're going to try by we'll be manually closing one nostril and inhaling through the other. And so we start on the left, we'll inhale through the left, we'll exhale right, and then we'll inhale right and exhale left. And that will be one round of alternate nostril breathing. And we're going to try to do 8. I'm going to guide you through the first few rounds, and then I'd like you to just go on your own because we all have different breath capacities. So you can use your thumb and your ring finger to close the nostrils. So we'll close. I won't mirror you because it messes me up when I mirror this. I'm going to do the same side you are. So we're going to close the right nostril, and when you're ready, you can inhale through the left side. And try not to suck in the air, but you're just kind of imagining that you're breathing normally, but just through your left side. When you're done with your inhale, you can close the left nostril and then just let your body exhale through the right side. Try not to push the air. Let your body inhale through the right side as well. And then when you're done, you're exhaling back through the left. So you got to close the right. So that's one round. Feel free to go at your own pace. We're going to inhale through the left. Your pace. When you're done, exhale through your right side. And inhale through your right. All through your nose if you can. Close the right and then exhale through the left. Continue at your own pace. So you're basically, whenever you inhale, you're always exhaling through the other side. Yeah. So that's how I remember it. And so what happens once we get used to it is, since we're only using one nostril, it will help to lengthen our breathing out. So that's one of the ways that this breathing pattern affects our physiology, is by making the breath longer and smoother, and that has a calming, balancing effect. But again, we want to watch your effort as you do this breathing and keep softening your effort. So not too much pushing and pulling with the breath. Okay. And we're trying to shoot for 8 rounds. And so next time when you come back through your left side, we'll call it 8. So we're all a little different with our lengths. But next time when you go out to your left, you can let go. And then simply be and receive your breathing as it is. You can choose to lean back on your chair to be more relaxed. And notice how your breath feels now after the alternate nostril breath. Notice how your body feels after your practice. And just noticing the overall quality of the mind and the emotional body as well. Okay. And we'll join the hands together at the heart. Take a full breath to heart center. And bow your head towards your heart. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.